What's up, everybody? Pastor Nate here, Wake World Ministry. I want to go ahead and do a video. Normally, I don't do this. This is Sunday. It's my day of rest. I try to use this day to reflect on what God's done in my life and what He's doing and spend time with family. I try not to do any ministry work or current world events or any of that. But I want to go ahead and address this video that I saw. Before I begin, I want to go ahead and make some things clear. Number one, I want to make it clear 110% I am not racist in any way. I don't want this to be taken racist in any way. The other thing is, I understand that our country hasn't had the best history. We've done a lot of things we shouldn't have. We've had some rocky spots, but it doesn't mean that I'm giving up on my country at all. I want to be the solution to the problem. Okay? And just to let you know, I'm not anti-government. I want a government that's for the people and by the people again. The way this country is being led right now, it's not good. It's not good, but it doesn't mean I'm giving up on my country. I want to touch on a couple subjects. One of those, starting off, is a video that I saw that was about protesting the border crisis that we're having. Let me tell you what I think the solution would be for the border crisis. A lot of these people are fleeing to the American border and trying to get into America because of the problem that's in their country. There's a solution to the problem. There's a solution and a problem always. The reason why they're doing that is because of the terrorist groups like the cartels and stuff that are threatening their way of life, and they're scared. They want free from it. But see, I can understand where they're coming from. But here's what we do. They also have a bad disease problem down there. This is what we do. We stop aiding terrorist organizations like our political members are doing, and take that money and go and help countries like Mexico and other countries around the world that need help medically, that need help getting their military back online and less corrupt. The same with their law enforcement and justice system and political people. That's what we should spend our money on. Again, as a Christian, I believe in helping our neighbor. Does that mean I think that they should come over to this country, we give them a bunch of help, and then let them abuse the freedom? Not every single one of them does that, but there are a lot of them that do. Am I saying that we should do that? No. What we should do is we should ask their country, hey, we want to help you out. We want to help you out medically wise. Get your hospitals a lot better treatment and supplies, your military, so on and so forth. That could be the solution right there to the problem that we're having. But in this video, they're protesting the whole border crisis that we're having. In the video, you had a bunch of Chicanos y Chicanas. What that means is Mexican Americans, as well as other nationalities that are Americans. I'm not denying they are Americans. They are. If you enter this country legally, wherever you're from in the world, I'm not going to say citizenship. Really go look at the word citizen. Do some in-depth study on that. I am exactly this. I am a living free man. I'm an American man. I was blessed by God to be born in this country. That's where I stand. Okay? But if you come to this country legally and you then become an American man or woman, you are an American. You are given rights. You have freedom. If you come in illegally and are granted amnesty, or if you don't, you are then an American. If you come in illegally and you're not granted amnesty, I'm not saying you're an American. All right, I'm not saying that at all. Go and get amnesty. Do it the right way. Sorry if I kind of confused that. But if you come in this country and you're granted amnesty because you entered illegally, you are then an American man or woman. If you're born in this country, regardless of your nationality, you are an American. You are given rights and you are given freedom. In this video, you have these people protesting the border crisis and basically being anti-American. You see this guy take this small flag on a wood post, put it to the ground, and people are stepping on it and scraping it across the ground. Then he brings it up and fails trying to light it on fire. Given, if you go and look at the code and laws for the United States flag, if it's damaged, hits the ground, or disrespected in any way, it is to be burned. But this guy was doing it in a very disrespectful way. I don't even think he knows the law or the codes for the United States flag. Then you have this guy to the right wearing a Mexican flag over him and literally pointing at the crowd and law enforcement and pointing back to himself, screaming, "I am the terrorist. I am the terrorist." Telling people to take pictures and stuff. This is where I'm going with this. Does this make sense to you? You are an American protesting against America, being anti-America. Basically saying the whole border crisis thing is something to do with racism. It has nothing to do with racism. I'm going to address that here in a second. So you're given freedom, you're given rights to protest against the same country that gives that to you. Does that make sense? Here's what you do. If you don't like our country, you don't like the way of life we have here that you're given, this is what you do. Pack your bags, bug out, leave, go back to whatever country you came from or whatever country will take you. I'm not trying to mean that to be racist in any way. And it's not the nationality problem, it's the mentality problem. It's not the person of nationality, it's the mentality that they have. With that being said, the reason why I think we should shut down all the borders, not just the southern one, is because you have terrorist organizations like the cartel that are working hand in hand with other terrorist groups like the ISIS, jihadist groups, Al-Qaeda groups, Hamas, that want to come into America and hurt us. They are helping them get to Mexico and come through the border to America. If you don't know, that's happening, people. They have found, after they detain people, they have found where they're from. They have targets of cities that they're wanting people to hit, political members. Just, it's happening. Did you all see Act of Valor? That was based on actual missions that Navy SEALs conducted. People, we're seeing that. All right? I'm not saying a red flag that they're saying this was going to happen. No, this is a reality that's happening, and this is a danger. And also with the disease issue, we don't need the diseases coming in. What we should do is give them aid and medical supplies to solve that problem. With that being said, I want to also touch on the subject of Israel. But before you can say, "Oh, here comes high and mighty, Mr. Pro-Israel." Yes, I'm pro-Israel. I'm a believer in the one true God. Israel is God's land. It's the apple of his eyes that he ordained and gave to the Israeli people. Okay, now before you say, "Oh, here he goes, he's going to say anti-Palestine." No, I'm not. The people that are protesting against Israel because they're not fair to Palestine, did you know the Israeli soldiers that commit hate crimes and war crimes and act out of conduct against the Palestinian and other people that live in Israel and Jerusalem, did you know that their leaders hold them accountable? Did you know Benjamin Netanyahu will take that soldier out of the field and hold them accountable and make them pay for that crime? Did you know that? Did you know a lot of the Israeli soldiers go to Palestinian kids, go out of their way to help them? Now people say, "Oh, well, Israel always bombs Gaza." You know how many missiles Gaza has to fire over into Israel, the other side, before they even fire one? Go look it up. I tell you the problem and the solution for Palestine and the people that are protesting against Israel. You know what you should be protesting against, you pro-Palestinian people? Protest against Hamas, because there's your problem. And that's the solution right there. You protest against Hamas, you go and take out Hamas and get them arrested and stopped. You might have a little bit better of a chance of peace. I mean, true peace won't come until Jesus Christ returns, but the fact of the matter is, it's Hamas that's creating the chaos. It's their radical terrorist group that want to take all of Jerusalem and Israel. Did you not know? The Bible does state that Israel was given to the Israeli people by God, but they are allowing other countries and nationalities to stay there. Did you know that Israel gives a lot of aid to the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. Just last week, Gaza bombed one of the power plants on the Israeli side of Jerusalem that gave them power. Powered a big part of their city. Did you know that Israel, the Israeli side, goes and tries to give aid to the Palestinian kids? Let me ask you something. Do you see Israeli troops going over and planting bombs under schools, under places of worship, and homes, or using themselves as suicide bombers to run into crowds? No. Do you see Hamas doing that? Yes. So stop protesting against Israel, because they're not the problem. Start protesting against the problem, which is Hamas in the midst of Palestine and the Gaza Strip. There's your solution. God bless you all.